Over the years, Percy the small engine has gotten better and better at managing the troublesome trucks. Toby had taught him many things, and he was now skilled at handling them. The old mine where Thomas had once fallen into a shaft was being reopened. New minerals were being breathed into life once again, and Toby and Percy were kept busy bringing trucks to and from the harbour. One day, Percy had worked harder than ever. He had moved many loaded trucks in no time at all. The foreman had been quite satisfied. "What a proficient little engine you are," congratulated his driver. Percy was pleased with himself. He didn't quite know what proficient meant, but he knew it had been really useful. That night, he told Thomas and Toby all about it. "You know, I think I'll start taking even more trucks at once. Then I'll be even more useful than ever," he said proudly. Toby was concerned. "I wouldn't try that," he warned. "Those silly trucks are heavy, and the line down to the harbour is steep. Any more would be too much for you." Percy was offended. "I can handle them. Driver says I'm, proficient. A few extra trucks are no bother to me." "Suit yourself, but don't say I didn't warn you," replied Toby. Percy just huffed and went to sleep. Next day, Percy was still brooding. "I know I can take more trucks. I'll pull more to prove it." "No, you won't," said the driver sternly. "You know the rules, and you'll obey them." Because Toby and Percy are little engines, the mine manager told the drivers to take no more than 10 trucks. Percy wanted to prove he could handle more, but he didn't know how. "Silly rule," he muttered. Early the next morning, the fireman was getting Percy ready for work. They were both surprised to see a relief driver arrive at the shed. He told them that Percy's driver was ill in bed that morning. While he was sorry for his driver, Percy was pleased. Now was his chance to take more trucks. Indeed, the relief driver didn't know about the 10 truck limit, and the fireman had forgotten. When Percy arrived at the mine, he excitedly began to bump the grumbling trucks into place. "Now they'll see! Now they'll see!" he puffed to himself as he scurried about. At last he'd arranged a long train of 13 trucks. Percy puffed and pulled the heavy trucks into motion as he set off for the harbour. By the time he reached the slope down to the harbour, they were running nicely. Too nicely. As Percy applied his brakes, he found the weight of the trucks surging against his buffers. The trucks, delighted for a thrill, laughed and shouted as they gathered speed. "Help!" whistled Percy, but no one could. The harbour came into view. The driver and fireman jumped clear as Percy careened helplessly on. He rattled onto the quay, heading for the buffers. Percy shut his eyes as he smashed through the buffers. When he opened his eyes, Percy found his front wheels dangling precariously over the edge of the quay, held back by the heavy trucks. Toby, who was nearby, had seen everything, and rushed to the rescue. With much puffing and pulling, Percy's wheels were dragged back onto the quayside. It wasn't long before the Fat Controller came to see him. "I don't know what inspired you to pull a stunt like this, Percy," he said, "but I expect you not to try it again." "My driver said I was proficient, and I thought I could take more trucks," said Percy meekly. "Proficient, Percy, means to be skilled and experienced with your work. And if there's one thing you've shown yourself to be proficient at, it's being a very silly engine. I hope in future you think more carefully about your limits." Afterward, Percy certainly didn't try to be proficient again, and decided that 10 trucks was just enough for him.
Bye.